FreedomToons.
Unless you live under a rock, you've probably heard about Trump's new tax plan, which is making the media cry so hard that sea levels are rising. And whether it's traditional marriage, less abortion taking place, or Dave Rubin being a thing, when the far left gets upset about something, you know it's a good thing. Now, this bill is complicated, and it absolutely does have its flaws, but there are a few things the left is saying about it which you know right off the bat are BS. Or maybe you don't, so let me walk you through them. Let's start with the most common argument. The rich are getting way more in tax cuts than the poor. And actually, this one's true, but that's because the rich pay way more in taxes. The top 20% pay nearly 90% of all federal income tax. So why aren't taxes being cut for the lower class? Because you can't cut taxes for people who aren't paying any, you dingus.
You dingus?
Let's move on to a criticism from good old Liz Warren. She never disappoints.
We could totally forgive every penny of student loan debt with the amount of money congressional Republicans are using to slash the corporate tax rate.
In other words, why are we letting some people keep their own money when we could be giving other people free stuff? I could understand wanting student loan forgiveness if you signed on the dotted line not knowing that you'd have to pay the money back, but when you borrow, at some point you have to return. Now look, I totally get it. College is ridiculously expensive these days. But there's nothing to prevent you from attending a community college for 2 to 3 years before you transfer to a 4-year university for your degree. And yeah, I can tell you from personal experience that living with your parents for 2 years after you've already graduated while all your friends are away at university, it's not a lot of fun. It's actually a pretty big sacrifice. But it's a sacrifice which myself and many other people have made to avoid debt. And it would be extremely unfair to make us, or anyone else for that matter, pay off your debt through our taxes. And especially because I know what you were up to at school, mister. We're friends on Snapchat.
It's tax cut season, baby. We're going into a recession. MAGA.
Did they have to cut to him with the sweater already off so the audience wouldn't notice the embarrassing number of necklaces he had to remove?
There's literally a tax cut for people who own private jets in this bill.
So on a surface level, I kinda get Hassan's outrage here, but unfortunately, I don't think he's thought this through. Imagine, for a moment, that a rich person wasn't able to afford a private jet without this tax cut. Boo-hoo! Who cares if some rich guy doesn't get his own jet, right?
Wrong. That is
Because if the rich guy doesn't buy a jet, that means the salesman didn't sell a jet, the manufacturer didn't move a jet, and their employees didn't get to build another jet. This happens enough times, and the company which creates and distributes the planes goes bankrupt, and everyone involved is out of work. Real nice. Another argument. Tax cuts are expensive. I don't even know where to begin with this one. Letting people keep their own money isn't expensive. This is total mental gymnastics. The left wants to spend on any and every program that sounds nice, despite the fact that we can't afford to pay for it. We want to spend less, and we're told that makes us big spenders because we want to pay less as well? The government spends $10 billion per day. That's absolutely insane, and we absolutely cannot afford to continue to spend this way. What we have is not a revenue problem, it is a spending problem. So with these tax cuts, will the government have enough money to spend as much as it does? No. But newsflash, it never has. That's why we're $20 trillion in debt. And the solution to that isn't to take more of people's money, it's to spend less of it. Hey guys, it's Seamus. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoy what I'm doing here and you got a little kickback from those tax cuts, please consider sending a donation my way. FreedomToons is entirely fan-funded, and donations really help us to crank videos out once per week. Thank you so much.